Diana Waithanji. I'm a cybersecurity engineer and a software engineer, and I also an accountant. I run Wahandisi Femme, which is an initiative for mentorship for high school girls in rural areas, and I also work with Akili, Dada. Recently, I was recognized as the Cybersecurity Woman of the Year under the Barrier Breaker category by Intelligenca in the US, and also the top 50 women in cybersecurity in Africa, the top 35 under 35 in Kenya in 2020, a nominee for the Zuri Awards in the STEM category, and also top 30 under 30 change makers in Africa under the OD Impact Challenge.
Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Necklace Forum, and today we are at Kwawangwana restaurant, and that's where we are having this lovely discussion. You should come here for their masala and for their omena and fish. But that aside, today we have a very lovely young guest. I like young people and I get excited when they're doing great things, and she's called Diana Waithanji. I got that right?
Yes, you did. You got it.
Diana, as she has told you, she has won many awards on cybersecurity. If you see a lady who's so good in cybersecurity and sciences, men, you know you're never going to cheat on this one. So, karibuni. Thank you so much, Diana, for accepting to be on our show.
Thank you very much, Dr. Zippy, for inviting me, and I'm very excited to be here with you.
Yeah, tell me, how did you get into this cybersecurity? Because, yeah, it's one thing to study IT, but it's another thing to get into cybersecurity.
Yeah, actually, when I was young, I really wanted to become a lawyer. I wanted to investigate around advocacies, injustices, and when I got my degree now in the university, I started becoming very conscious about security online. Yes, we are programming, we are creating a lot of apps, and then I was also doing CPA. So I was wondering, how do I combine the both of them? And in CPA, there is information systems audit, and in IT, there is also information systems security. So I decided, I've got the combination. And when I was at KPLC, I approached one of the directors there just to teach me what happens, how do you go about information system security, which is cybersecurity is part of it. And that's how I started gaining my interest and watching a lot of movies on spying. Those days I used to watch a lot of movies. Nowadays I watch none, but a lot of spying, and I became really conscious, like, why should anyone spy on you, Dr. Zippy, without your consent? So I decided, like, let me get on this other side. Instead of spying on people without their consent, let me spy on people with their consent, or spy on people to protect their data.
This reminds me, the other day, I think recently, there was a young man who hacked the government system.
Yeah.
Is that part of your work?
Now, part of my work is to counter that. Before someone comes in to hack you, how can we ensure that we have the system, we have the right systems for the government, so that no one can come and penetrate it? So you have to do something like penetration testing, where you test the system, whether if I'm on this other side, and this other side, I mean the unethical hacking. Can I be able to hack into your system? So for me, I'm on this other side of ethical hacking, and of course now, if there's a hacking that has gone on, just bring the systems back to normal, and also do an incident report on what happened to counter that attack next time.
Wow, I'll pursue that question again later with banks. Yeah, but now first, before we go into these other details, tell me about your recent award. I think it got me quite excited because you've been at the top 50 cybersecurity award in Africa, and this one was now a global award. Tell me about it.
So Cybersecurity Woman of the Year Award is a global award by Intelligenca, which is a corporation in the US. So they recognize women who are doing amazing stuff in the field. Let me say that, who are women professionals, and I was recognized under the Barrier Breaker category on all the barriers I'm trying to break, especially the stereotypes that exist in our field. There are other categories like Woman Support of the Year, the Best Woman Hacker globally. So there are other awards there are other categories. So for me, it was Barrier Breaker because of the work that I do with Wahandisi Femme, encouraging high school girls to get into the technical field and and also in the cybersecurity field, bringing more women into the field, especially those who are getting in, because they might be reluctant to get in, or those who are in the field also keep engaging them in other things so that they can give out their best. So yeah, I was also really amazed to get that award. I was the youngest recipient, so I'm the youngest ever recipient for that award, and I'm also the only one residing in Africa.
Wow.
Yeah, because because the rest are either working in Europe, they're working in the US or in the Middle East, Asia, there, so or Latin America. So I was the only one from Africa and also the youngest recipient.
I think, let me say, we are just so proud to have you in Kenya.
Yeah,
we are so glad to have you in Kenya. Though it is said that Kenya as a country, we are very highly advanced in terms of IT and internet and cyber. Tell me about that.
Yes, I may not have the exact statistics to back that up, but there's always, you'll see a lot of articles saying that Nigeria, Kenya, Ghana and South Africa, especially Nigeria, Kenya and South Africa, are the best advanced in terms of tech. Nigeria is still on top there in terms of security, even physical security. So, and Kenya, there was actually an article that said that Kenyans, we should actually be at the best, are some of the best hackers. So they are being followed by FBI everywhere, followed by Nigeria. So that article was actually saying that we should actually be protecting the world from us, not as protecting the world. Yeah.
Oh my God.
So yeah, so I cannot back up with that, but we are really advancing in terms of cybersec. Nowadays, you can even hear people talking about it. Because for me, my goal actually is to ensure that cybersecurity is business as usual. If I get into an organization or even my friends, when you are hanging out, that cybersecurity is business as usual to them, that they can think about it.
Oh, wow, that's great. Yeah. Now, Diana, you're only 24.
Yes.
And you are already top 50 in Africa. Now, winner in the Global Women's Award. What next?
What next? I will keep impacting, let me say, I'll keep impacting the country as much as I can in terms of cybersecurity, considering that now we are starting to implement the 2019 Kenya Data Protection Law, which has started sort of implementation, and also of the General Data Protection Regulation of the European Union. And my second focus is more women in cybersecurity, in engineering, in technology, and in leadership. I would really also love to see women in decision-making spaces. So that is what next. That is what I've been doing, but now on a more motivated level, considering that now people have recognized my work, the support systems will increase. And one of the things that I got from the Cybersecurity Woman of the Year is that for 2 months, I'll be attending a training on cybersecurity leadership in Australia by an Australian institute. It's likely to be online because of Corona. That also elevates me in terms of not just remaining only in cybersecurity, practicing it, but also getting more leadership tips around it and how to get into those decision-making spaces.
Great. Now, Diana, I just saw that you are also part of the cybersecurity committee at the KEBS.
Yes.
Kenya Bureau of Standards. That's big. Like, before we buy any laptops or any fiber or anything, you are one of the people who have to verify whether these people are real or good. How did you get there?
I actually applied. I applied last year. I applied last year, and I was thinking, you know how we think KEBS, it's for older people, not people my age, people with experience, and can I just do this thing? And I saw a friend of mine post on our WhatsApp group that KEBS is recruiting technical committee members, and I put out my application there. So I was actually now appointed in 2 committees, that is the one you've talked about, the IT Security Committee and the Software and Systems Engineering Committee. And under the Software and Systems Engineering, I'll mostly contribute under security aspects. So I also want to encourage more younger people like me, like, let's get these opportunities. They are not meant for other people, they are ours. They are ours. So let's also keep pushing ourselves, because I thought that space was never for me. Even last year when I was doing some presentations in some conferences or a panel discussion, I would either be the youngest or either be the only woman, and it makes me feel happy. And because the reason it makes me feel happy is that the moment I've positioned myself there,
Yeah.
I'm encouraging another young girl or another woman that you can actually also come here and present with the knowledge that you have. You know, I'm barely 3 years of experience, but of work, real work experience, because I cleared in 2017. But again, you see, I have knowledge to share to the world, and that is the goal. If
you are never too young to share.
Yes.
And I always tell people, you are never too young to empower even an older person.
I completely agree.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, for a long time, I was always the youngest everywhere I went. But now that I'm growing older, I'm no longer the youngest. And I used to tell people, like, sometimes I go to meetings, and because I'm the youngest and I am the woman, I serve people tea. And kind of like, then again it goes to like, you do the minutes in meetings. Then it reaches a point you're like, I can't keep doing minutes. I can't keep serving people tea just because I'm the youngest. We live in such a patriarchal society.
Very patriarchal.
And it's a cultural issue. I don't know, we just can't help it. Like, the tea will be brought, but who will put it on the top of this table and everyone is here? Nobody wants to serve themselves tea. All these people seated here looking like,
at you.
You, like...
Sometimes I look at a different direction. I have to admit that I've also found myself in situations where I had to serve tea because people have insisted, but before they insist, I'll be doing something else and pretending that, I'm not checking out.
Yeah.
But minutes, I agree with you, because it also gives you some time to present. If you don't take in the minutes, you can present.
Yes.
And it elevates you.
It
you
elevates
have
you. You give your opinions, and stuff like that. If people actually get a chance to hear your voice.
Yes.
Yeah, and after some time, I realized that people will always say, oh, like Dr. Zippy was saying, oh, so then you repeat a point and like, yeah, that point, what do you think? And you're like, soon you realize people are hearing your voice more, and it's no longer about you being young. Then another thing that comes with that is the next time they have another meeting and they think who can go, they're like,
exactly.
Let Diana come because she has great ideas, but she can also take minutes and present and stuff.
And they saw you, so that you come first in their head.
Exactly.
Like they can just see you.
Exactly. So it's a grace that comes with being young. It's not a curse. It's a grace. It's a blessing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you talked about the Wahandisi, Femme.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tell me more about that and where you think of taking it.
Yes, Wahandisi Femme, I started it when I was in campus because I went to a training by Akili Dada. I also work for Akili Dada currently as the program associate.
Great.
So when I went for this training, it was a leadership training because I was in student leadership in campus. So at first I don't know what I thought of leadership, especially coming from a very patriarchal society.
Yeah.
I'd be like, we have few girls in our class. That's perfect. We are smart, you know. We are the only ones. We are the best. So when I went for that training by Akili Dada, that's when I was opened up on issues of gender equality and some of the SDGs and some of the leadership values. Yeah, and going back to class again and seeing again a few women, other engineering courses still have a few women, so that's
and
when...
you realize even your lecturers, there was only one woman or none.
Yes, and maybe that woman would teach, do I say the basics?
The basics?
Not complicated stuff. So yeah, so you'd be like, oh, that's where we actually belong or what? Yeah, so that's when I started Wahandisi Femme, and because we choose subjects in high school, so these subjects influence whether you take technical courses, especially in Kenya or not.
Yeah.
Yes, I recognize there is bridging or there is the parallel program.
Yes, parallel program, yeah.
Yeah, so I recognize that there is that, but mostly the technical subjects. So you have to have done physics, you have to have passed maths, chemistry, especially the three of them, and maybe partially geography.
Yeah.
So that's when I started it. So now let's go back to high school. Let's change the mindset that you can actually pass in maths. Because I remember even in primary, like you could even be called a boy because of passing in maths. And it felt really nice. only to unlearn that and realize
it's because they expect women to just be good in languages and not in sciences.
Yeah, so that is how I started it. And my goal for Wahandisi currently is to reach more women, and especially in the rural areas where we focus on and provide computers for them. And especially with the computer bit is that not even for them to take up technical courses necessarily, also to have that access to information. Because you can imagine a teenager who is in Nairobi versus a teenager who is in my county in Nyandarua, where there is a problem in internet access, you cannot place them on the same level.
That's true.
But the world expects them to be competing for the same opportunities. So also that access to information, especially to young girls, it's very important. Even if it's things on SRHR, anything else, it's important for me. And of course, now the second aspect is a training for women in cybersecurity. That one I have to see it coming in, because upskilling, talking to women is one thing, but even upskilling with them. Like currently it's a program in the US, it's called 100 Women in 100 Days, and we've been given scholarship for certifications.
Wow.
So once I'm done with that certification, of course I'll be on a higher level. So I was really inspired. I was selected, we were 2 Africans selected, and the rest are in the US. My African friend is in Nigeria. And I'm really inspired by that program, because once you upskill someone, you put them on a better position. So with Wahandisi Femme, I also focus on doing that, like having free training or affordable training programs for women for certifications in cybersecurity. So, yes.
You just mentioned the word affordable, because I was going to ask you the next question, how do you sustain Wahandisi?
So those are through those affordable trainings, and of course some donations from other people. And I'm still thinking around also the sustainability of it. We offer some programs to the school, whether it's that mentorship program, can they give us some things to also sustain our organization, some fee, or because also sustaining an NGO or a non-profit is never easy, or any organization or any company, it's never easy. So yes, I'm actually, with all these accolades, I'm actually really challenged to think big. I'm now challenged because of also this exposure I'm getting, meeting other people who are also winning this and what they are doing, like the top 35 under 35 in Kenya that I won. Also interacting with the other 34 and knowing how the
challenges they're doing
and how are you facing it. So I'm also challenged to think bigger.
What exactly is your opinion on teaching children between the age of 6 to 12 on artificial intelligence?
That's perfect for me.
Really?
Because I feel you have just recognized that this child has this talent of AI, or is just playing with the computers, and you just recognize, let's start grooming this person. There are two teenagers in one of our cybersecurity communities. They are 15 and 16, and the kind of presentation they make in conferences is just like, I don't even have a question, but I have a question, because they are so excellent at it, and they're just teenagers. So for me, my opinion is that let's mold it from the beginning, because that is how we even start having our own innovations. Because to be honest, most of the softwares we use or anything, they are mostly from abroad, and they're not innovated according to our own needs. It's just someone will read, Africa, Kenya is facing this problem, so we can do this for them. But now imagine, Dr. Zippy, you have someone who has actually grown in now let me assume, like in my county now in Nyandarua, they are 5 years old, they have realized the problem. By the time even their 20s, and they now have the opportunity to create an innovation, they'll come back and solve that solution with that problem. What do you think about it? Because
in fact, I think I'll just throw back the question at you, because now as a parent, from the perspective of a parent, as a parent, I have an 8-year-old, and now on social media, there's this game called Roblox, I think so. Now, Roblox has got 2 components. I like one component. I like the component of children playing games, building houses, doing structures, and all that kind of stuff. I don't just like the component of them chatting. What is your opinion on this?
That one I completely empathize with you. As a parent, I would also feel the same if my child was doing that. So one thing I would comment about that is, I would also not prefer the chatting session, because even on this Zoom session, just to divert a little bit, even on these Zoom sessions, most of the students that have been hacked or have been exposed to the internet is because of someone will hack into the class and start chatting with them. And because you are a child, you are innocent, or you're a teenager, or even sometimes when you're an adult, you may not know their intentions about it. So I can imagine even in that game, if there are malicious hackers over there, they can start chatting with your child. They ask them for
where they live.
Yeah, where they live, very bad photos, or even the school. There have been a lot of cases of children missing. I may not have the statistics to back up that it is because of hacking, but that could also be a problem, because if you tell them, like what you said, where you live, or what you're doing, or someone will have a structure of your day, because that is what we call social engineering. So about that one, I would encourage more parents to be cautious about what their children are doing online, and just have that open space, that safe space. Or you were playing that, who are you chatting with, not that who are you chatting with, because when you have that, because that they'll rebel and even look for those people that you don't want to. So even having that safe space, telling them about the internet issues, and also because they'll join Facebook soon, they'll join Twitter soon, or TikTok soon, and they'll find those people. Those people are not, and by those people I mean unethical hackers
and stuff. But is there a way in which a parent, or let me say anyone, can block so that the child can play the games but not chat?
I'll need to check on that. Yes, because about games, because of how they have been programmed, someone probably programmed with both goals of chatting and also playing the game. But when it comes to other apps, you can use something like Kiddle or YouTube for kids. So when it comes to other apps, you can find apps that are children friendly. But when it comes to games, that one I may need to check on that.
Oh, thank you. Because that one I think is a question that a lot of parents are facing right now, because since COVID happened, a lot of children are online. They are having Zoom classes online, and when the Zoom classes is over, the parents are also there. You want to watch TV, the child wants to watch TV, it's one TV. So what next? Okay, take that other phone and play a game. When the child is having the phone like this, we are not really so sure about what's happening. But okay, thank God, Google has got some of these protect your kid and stuff. But when we use that again, they can't watch the YouTube videos that are for kids. And it's quite frustrating for a lot of parents right now. Maybe this is just a challenge. You guys can give us an option for a Kenyan, even whether it's a Kenyan platform, for these games that the children can play. Because when we look at our, our cultural and both our ethical norms in terms of bringing up children, we are not as liberal as the Europeans or the Americans. But we still want our children to be that exposed. So maybe with the time, you can give us games for children, because we have a lot of games for adults.
Challenge accepted.
Challenge accepted. Guys, meskia. Challenge accepted. Oh, I'm so excited about this, Diana. Why? What exactly is your biggest dream? Because at 24, just 24, not yet 25 even. At 24, Diana, you have won all these awards. At 24, you have a name for yourself. At 24, you have a career path set for you. Where else do you want to go?
So for me, I think my biggest dream at the moment is a cyber-secure nation. So I don't know how to put it so that it can look like a dream or an objective goal, but just getting involved in more and more in securing the nation in terms of cybersec, and I'm also getting an interest in physical security. So my biggest dream for now is just seeing a very cyber-secure nation, and the other one is more women in now these spaces, in more decision-making spaces and in more technical fields, because there's also a lot of stereotypes there. It might take longer to beat patriarchy, But one thing I keep saying, these efforts that we make are because the women who came before us are the ones that made us go to school.
Exactly.
Yeah, like long ago, women could not go to school, or even we could now be married somewhere enjoying life in the village. So these steps that we make are the only, so any woman fighting for gender equality, don't give up yet. These steps that we make are the ones that make sense in the future.
Now, coming to that, what exactly is your opinion on the 2/3 gender rule? Do you think it should be reviewed as the parliamentarians want, or do you think that women like the Chief Justice Njoki Ndung'u did a great job and this thing should remain as it is right now?
Remain as it is.
Remain as it is.
Yes, and you said a very important point there, that even men can be a third and women can be two that. Have you ever been invited for a panel discussion? I don't know whether you have that experience, and we are looking for a woman just to feel that.
Exactly, the 2/3 gender rule.
Can you just invite a woman because you think she deserves to be in that space, not because we want to fill the panel because it's a manel so far. So we just want one woman and 5 men so that you can just be the face of it. So yeah, for me, I think it should still remain because it's making strides. And again, also, we should also focus on the cultural biases that exist among us, and stop appointing because you want, and stop even brushing it on our face because we wanted a woman. Like, just appoint them because they are qualified to be there. And sometimes it's not even about the qualifications. Sometimes someone has that potential, but they have never had the point to reveal it somewhere. You give them a position at the table, and how they perform, it's so excellent. And maybe they didn't have that qualification before. So it's just believing, or rather seeing, I keep saying, seeing women as human beings instead of seeing women as women. See them as human beings with a lot of potential and a lot they can bring on the table. After they do that, we go to the 50%.
We want equal share.
We want equal share.
I'm glad you're talking that, because you are already opening ways for that for women in terms of artificial intelligence, cybersecurity, and generally information technology. Because by empowering these young people at that age, let me not say young people, younger people, because you're young yourself. By empowering these younger people, you're doing a great job yourself. Diana, maybe people would like to know how you grew up, like where you went to primary school, high school. Ndio watu waseme huyo ni wetu, you know.
Yeah, so actually for me, I grew up in Nyandarua County. I was raised in Nyandarua County, a place called Oljoro constituency, and it's Gatimu ward. So it's a village called Nyakarianga. Let me mention it today. And Nyakarianga, well, it was just a village. So I went to primary school in some private schools over there. I went to, and the last one was Kasuku PC Academy, which was also in our constituency. And then in high school, I went to Moi Girls. It's Moi Girls Kamango. It's not the Moi Girls Eldoret. Because
they're all Moi girls.
There are many Moi girls out here producing amazing women. Yeah, so that is where I went. But most of my life was really spent on Nyandarua County, where we still have the connectivity issues. I never saw computers. Well, in the first private school when I was in class 2, I remember we had computers. I don't know where they disappeared to, but we were even playing Dangerous Dave. There was that game that existed there, and I'm the one who could actually teach people. In high school, I deliberately dropped computer, and because I thought I would be a lawyer, because I told you my dream was to be a lawyer. So I was just like, but sometimes I could find myself subconsciously in the computer lab, and we could actually fight with the computer teacher because
like, why are you here?
Why are you here? It's only Form 4 computer students should be here. Why are you here? But I would find myself there. And between the transition between high school and campus, where you do the computer packages because you don't want to be seen at home. So I did my computer packages, and then I was still the excellent in my class, and I started thinking probably this is my thing. But anyway, most of my life, even to date, I still go back to Nyandarua County. Like yesterday when I was speaking, there was a launch of an ICT hub by Engineer Mbataro. So it's just going back and encouraging those young people that, you know what, I grew here. I grew up here.
And look at where I am now.
I
think that's very beautiful when we can get that background, so that a lot of us come to the city. I grew up in Homa Bay County. I came to the city to look for money. And so
Totally.
we came from the village, and it really empowers that young person in the village that they can really make it when they see your story making it to the global headlines. And so it's never just about where you grow up, but what can you do with what you grew up in. And I'm so glad that opportunity to play that game on that computer has made you, it inspired, it sparked something in you, and you pursued it.
Yes.
And now you talked about where you'd like to go. So this is just my final question. Or is it a question now? Just a thought. What if the president called you and said, young girl, I'd like you to be in my intelligence team?
Whoop. Dream achieved. Honestly, yeah, I love what the intelligence teams does, because they bring out a lot of injustices. Because even when we are fighting femicide out here, very amazing work being done by feminists, and also but it gets at the court level. You cannot convince the judge beyond reasonable doubt. So for me, intelligence is also something I'm also
maybe just tell the president. You never know.
Mr. President. Mr. President, I would love to join the National Intelligence Service and bring justice to those who cannot get it. Thank you.
You never know, Diana.
Never know. Thank you for that challenge.
You never know. Sometimes I say, allow yourself to dream your wildest dreams, because those awards are never just awards. Anytime I receive any award or any opportunity, I always say, it's not for this moment. This award is a recognition for this moment, but an opportunity for tomorrow. And for me, that has enabled me to see beyond. And I don't know what your awards mean to you, but I hope they really open more opportunities for you, Diana.
Yes, they actually mean a lot to me, and even the girls that we work with, or the women that we work with. So, and I'm really challenged. Like, I'm so challenged to think bigger and also now see more opportunities with these awards, as opposed to just keeping them in the house.
Don't keep them in the house.
Display
them. Like when somebody walks into your house, let them see, which one is that?
Challenge accept. Today you're just giving me challenges and I am accepting all of them.
Okay, your final words to our viewers?
Thank you very much, Dr. Zippy, for hosting me. I'm really honored to be here, to be hosted by such an amazing woman. You really inspire me.
Thank you.
And thank you for our viewers for tuning in today. Please subscribe to the Necklace Forum, and also always believe. My mantra is always believe. So keep believing. Trust the process. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Diana. And as we have heard, always believe. It doesn't matter what your dream is, always believe. And until next time, this is Necklace Forum, and I'm Dr. Zippy Okoth. Bye-bye.